Anything we do out of fear is not something that we do out of love.
Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring, the how-tos of your 20s told by 20-something, traversing through life expectantly and with gusto. But I feel like the important conversation here is you finally finding your passion in content creation and educational content creation. I think there's a part of it where you kind of stumbled upon it, diba? Kasi very accidental yung na-upload mo siyang video online. Eh. But do you think it's always a good advice for people to say na you have to follow your passion? Or is there like a fine line between following your passion and making sure that there's still food on the table?
I'll just assume this na you'd agree with me, no? Pero sometimes kasi we think that finding our passion is a magical thing, no? Yung parang
Yeah.
bubukas yung langit and then the hand of God will spell it out for you. But it really isn't that easy. Siguro one thing I would want to get into the conversation really quickly would be this. You really can't be everything that you want at the same time. Like, I try to tell kids, lalo na yung younger generation, about this earlier on. Like, doing this, even if it's my passion, I had to give up a lot of things. Passion is more than just an emotion. So, passion is more than just feeling good about what you're doing. It's more about pain, di ba? We know that passion means pain. So, it will cost a lot. If we're thinking that it's going to be the start of everything beautiful and maglive ka happily ever after once you find your passion, it's not really going to be like that. Finding your passion entails working as hard as you ever have in your life. Maybe having a little bit or even no acknowledgement, lalo na if you're getting started, but still pushing on along. You have to really keep going even if walang recognition, walang kahit anong applause or kahit monetary gain, because you believe that you are feeling a need and you are soothing a pain din na nafe-feel ng ibang tao out there. So it's part of finding your tribe, finding your passion.
But I think also parang byproduct na lang din yung passion. I mean, for me personally, I don't know about you. For me, naging byproduct na lang yung passion nung something useful and substantial that I was doing. I was also looking for a need that wasn't being met. And then the passion followed. So I feel like also for people who are listening to the podcast right now, if you look at both our stories, Coach Lyqa's and myself, makikita mo rin na it didn't really start with passion, but passion followed because you tend to grow and create love out of the things that you do with a purpose and with a bigger direction.
Like, I think a lot of people really find it difficult to differentiate passion and purpose. And one way that I like to define that is that passion sometimes gets you going, it gets you started, makes you feel good for a bit, but it's purpose that will keep you going. No matter what. So maybe if you think about it like building fire, right? It's that spark. Sometimes in passion, means may mga spark here and there. But if you don't tend to the flame, it won't really turn into something. In many ways, it's an amalgamation of all your experiences, of your struggles, of your little skills. It really is a painful process, and there are things about your life that you're going to surrender.
I think a lot of people who listen to the podcast are young people, and what they're struggling with is actually traversing through the digital world, trying to have their own opinion and still so afraid because once you put your own opinion out there and the masses don't agree, you will just be shut down, belittled, you're going to be bullied and hurt in so many different ways. So how do you find that courage of standing up for what you're actually doing and knowing that it's okay if people disagree with you or think that you're not doing it the right way, quote unquote?
I think for people like me, like you, who take pride in our work because we work so hard, if someone says something about what you did na talaga you put a lot of effort into, masakit talaga siya. Pero I'm so happy I got this opportunity to speak in an event, and CJ Melu Sereno, the former Chief Justice, was there, and she talked to me and then she told me, babalik lang tayo dun sa idea natin that we are doing all of this for God. When it comes to confidence na on what you post, I think the first test would be, are you willing to say that to an actual person in an actual conversation in real life? Now, if your answer is yes, then feel free to post that online. So, ibig sabihin nun, totoo yun sa'yo. You're not just posting it for clout. You're posting it because it's something that you really believe in.
I think it's a strength that we all need to hone, because if not, we'll just be dragged and we'll be flailing aimlessly through the wind, trying to follow wherever the herd goes and really not standing up for anything. everything.
I think anything that we do out of fear, anything we do out of fear is not something that we do out of love. If I'm posting this out of fear, even if I mean well, then it's not good. But if I'm posting this out of love, even if the tone is kind of aggressive or challenging, then I know that it's out of love and I can be proud of it.
Intention changes everything, right? I wanted to talk about the recent talk that I watched you give for an event that we did together. And I found that so interesting because you talked about the difference between fear and anxiety. Can you tell us more about that? The difference between fear and anxiety and how you were able to kind of navigate in your own life with dealing with that.
Ano ba? I think we can start off by defining courage first. And that courage is doing the thing, even if you're feeling afraid or anxious, even if your heart is pounding and you can hear it sa ear mo, even if you're all sweaty, or even if you have to crawl para mangyari yon, that is courage. And when we talk about courage, it's hard not to talk about fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety are different because fear is a response, an emotional response to something that actually exists. So there has to be something that is a legitimate source of that fear. You can point at it, like if I'm afraid of the dark or something, then ibig sabihin yun yung source ng fear ko. And if you turn on the light, then that fear will go away. Kasi the source of the fear is now gone. So again, it's very tangible, very physical. Anxiety is different because you feel the same way as you would if you were afraid, but you can't really point at something that is the source of your anxiety. So it's a general feeling that something bad is going to happen, even if I'm not sure, or even if there's no sign at all that there really is something that's going to happen.